So this evening, I'm really pleased to be talking to husband and wife extraordinaire, Tim and Jonelle Price, who have sort of taken the eventing world by storm the last, I don't know, quite a few years now. We seem to be getting better and better. So Tim and Jonelle, it must be pretty surreal, you both being husband and wife, world number 1 and 2, and with your kiddies.
Yeah, with little kiddies dragging puzzles across the floor behind us just to keep reality in check.
Exactly, that's right. We like it to be natural.
Yeah, no, it's been a great trajectory, really. Well, we say that now. Probably if we went back 10, 15 years, we might think twice about what we were trying to set out to achieve, which is just survival at that point, wasn't it, really? But yeah, it's been a tough old road, but it's been a fun road and a positive challenge all the way. The last 2 or 3 or 4 years has been really fun to really put a stamp on what all those things were about for us, and to arrive at the, to be fighting for the top places at major events is kind of what makes it so special and really enjoyable for us.
And inevitably, I think that, your journey is probably what makes you the competitor you are now. Do you know what I mean? It probably is those struggles and all the horses that weren't so good that we rode at the start that, make you able to truly capitalize on the opportunities that, come your way a bit later, now that you've got the experience and the horsepower to, genuinely try and get some of these results.
Absolutely. Well, that's brilliant what you've both done. Who out of the both of you is the most competitive? I think I thought it was good. I sort of knew it.
Yeah, it probably is me. I'll take that one. Yeah.
And where are you? Sorry, when you were both eventing, where did you meet those sort of years ago? Was it eventing? Or pony club or whatever?
Yeah. We were back in New Zealand, obviously, because we're both Kiwis, and that's where life began. Janelle's from the top of the South Island. I'm from 5 or 6 hours south of there, in the middle of the South Island. Christchurch, or thereabouts, which is like the mecca of the South Island, where everyone wants to gravitate towards. So, of course, 18-year-old Jonelle, in her wildest dreams, wants to get down to Christchurch, wants to see the big, far horizon of the land and everything it has to offer and all its splendour. So she came down there with her trailer on behind with a horse at 120 kilometers per hour through all the wee roads, and turned up at our major event where there was 175 of us all trying to compete. I'm just trying to elaborate.
That's great.
But anyway, Jonelle came down, and she, as most people from around the South Island of New Zealand would, and they would compete at the competition there in Christchurch, and that's where we met. And we were friends for a few years, for 4, 5 or 6 years. We kicked about together, and had a lot of fun doing all sorts of stuff, and horses, festivals, holidays. But it was it was great, because even from that early stage, it was sort of banding up together to make the job of what we were trying to achieve easier and better, because even back then we'd go to the North, talk about Christchurch being the mecca of the South Island. Well, the North Island was actually the true heart of anything truly serious. So we were going to the North Island in big convoys and voyages with 1 or 2 trucks and all our worldly possessions and our horses, and no grooms, just us, and spending 3 or 4 weeks up there camping around the place, going to 2 or 3 competitions at a time. So that was kind of the start of the adventure side of our time together, and that was as friends, wasn't it? And then we sort of moved on from there, and that was in New Zealand.
Foundations.
Yeah,
stronger foundations. That's really good.
And trucks turned into planes, and then we ended up in the UK. basically.
Back in the wet, horrible UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there?
What are you doing? So Tim, having won nearly all the 5 stars around the world, badminton still needs to be added to your wins. Is this something that you really, is it sort of you feeling like you really need to tick that off the list?
I don't know, as it becomes a different thing, I guess, over time. For me personally, anyway, it's different for each rider and what they're in their stage of their career and that. But it's so much to do with the horses we have, the opportunity we have, and with that particular horse or horses and their timing in their career. We all but then it is the beauty of eventing is, and especially at 5-star level, is it all gets stripped back down to we want to do best by those horses and bring them through the competition safely and in a healthy way so they can complete. Ideally, there's nothing knocks you back a bit if you don't complete for any reason, really. It's tough. You've put so much into it over a stretch of time.
Yeah.
So those things are all so in the front of your mind. So this particular badminton is 2 really lovely horses, stunning horses that are in a good place, hopefully, to be successful there. So this particular badminton, I'm excited. It's not about me and what I haven't won and what I want to win and things. It's more about the opportunities in front of me and right here and now. I'm really excited to have these 2 horses going into badminton, really healthy, and having had a big run the other day at Thorsby. So got that tucked under their belt, and we're not far away now, really.
Well, hopefully this could be the one.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Jonelle, have you got anything? You haven't got anything entered for badminton?
No, sadly, I had one that we were starting to prepare, and she went wrong a couple of weeks ago. So
Sorry.
that was disappointing. But that is life with horses.
The co-winner.
Yeah,
it sure is. And are you taking anything to Kentucky?
No, Kentucky. No, I mean, we were slightly feeling the effects. We retired 6 5-star horses last year.
6
between us. Yeah.
Okay,
And as we all know, 5-star horses are not around every corner. To replace 6 5-star horses is just not possible. Right. And it's inevitable that we're probably going to feel the effects of that a wee bit this year. Probably me more so than Tim. So yeah, sort of just got to ride the wave and keep working on that next generation.
Well, you've just moved as well, haven't you, down to Dorset?
Yeah.
And so I suppose if it's got to be a year, then maybe it's a good year to be.
Well, we've come off the back of 3 championship years, of course, with Tokyo moving, and then the real Tokyo. And then the Worlds. We're quite lucky. Well, we deem ourselves to be quite lucky that we don't do the Europeans. So for us, this is a sort of a non-championship year, and it's just a real opportunity for us to, try and consolidate our horsepower a little bit and build some horsepower and, see how we're looking for next year.
Brilliant. You'll be grand for next year. So you two, it must be pretty hard working alongside each other and being married, dealing with the pressure, the tiredness that comes with competing and just continuous sort of endless days, and the, competitiveness too. How do you sort of, I don't know, are there tricky times? How do you manage it?
She's really annoying on a daily basis. And sometimes I'm just trotting down the long side in the arena on a young horse, and all I want is just like 3 or 4 meters of clearance, just space. And does she? No. And so that is quite difficult to live with at times.
Yes, it is. No, look, it's not easy, and that's probably why not that many people do it, to be honest. It's often hard to find the line between marriage and your personal relationship and your everyday working relationship, particularly when this life we've chosen, it is all consuming. I think any horse person out there will agree that it is, you know, you
Yeah.
kind of have to live it and breathe it. So it is difficult to come home and not be that person as well, you know, and just go back to being husband and wife again. But I think, you know, we work at it pretty hard. We enjoy going away on holidays. We love spending time still, like I said, away from the horses, and we make that quite a focus.
It's important.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, there's times where we just have to sit and suffer. That is,
I just want a little more space on the young ones in the arena.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Charge it
that's
down.
good. That's good.
That's it.
That will help them.
But there is the competitive. You mentioned the competitive side as well, and you know it's a funny sport in the way that it's very very rare. In fact, I don't think it's happened yet to date where we are literally both vying for the same win. You know, so we would. It's very rare. I'm sure it possibly will happen, and at that point we'll have to re-answer this question as to how we bobble the other one off, like how we say just that thing we know is going to break them down just when they don't want to hear it. No. I'm joking. But
that's something I was going to go on and ask you the next question. And I was going to say, I can't remember, or I'm not sure whether there was ever a time in a major international where you've been second, and you know, watching the one in the lead.
Really, at Po, I was actually second equal and got demoted to third. So we were first and third. And Kentucky, we were second and third.
Okay,
So,
pretty close then,
close. Yeah.
It really doesn't seem to impact the job at hand, though, is kind of the truth of it. We just look after each other, support each other, help and advise. But I guess when we're both in the final few, you can't be there for the other person in the same.
No, you can't. You're focusing, aren't you? And you're.
But yeah,
it must be a really weird wave though of mixed emotions when you know.
Not really.
Wife have a poll and you're like, yeah, and they're like, oh god.
But you know, look, if you're not going to win, then you definitely want the other person to. And
of course you do.
It's a joint bank account at the end of the day. So you know,
doesn't matter as long as you're both up there.
Yeah, we're each other's biggest supporters. You know.
What have you done with all that money, actually?
He's got a secret bank account.
Yeah.
Are there certain habits and rituals that either of you have to deal with sort of nerves, pressure? You know how some people go a bit weird, not a bit weird, but you know, certain things they like doing, or
Janelle's pretty she's stoic and she sticks to, you know, she's just got her plan and there's no wavering her. No one can make her change her ways in any way whatsoever. She's so you're one of a kind like that, really, and that's why
I think I'm quite level.
That's why Janelle's often put out first as a team member for a championship or relied upon in those places, because you know what you say you'll deliver.
Nerves of steel.
You know, have a kid and come and win badminton a few months later, that sort of thing, no problem to Janelle. But yeah, I don't know. I have my preparation, my plan, my process, and then when I get there, I just go through the motions and you know, play a bit of music before dressage in the truck because I'm getting ready, polishing my boots and those things, and just constantly remind myself that the job's done. You know, the preparation's in place, and that gives me the relaxation I think I require to just go in and allow the job to happen without trying to control it too much. So that's me. But yeah, everyone's different.
And do you get nervous for each other when the other's competing? So say, you know, one of you's riding at, I don't know, wherever, Kentucky or Lebanon. Oh, we've got a star guest.
Weirdly, I think when we're both riding like at the same show, then I find I'm fine. But if I'm not, I find it much harder. But I think when you are riding, you're in a competitor's headspace. You just have a very pragmatic way of just the same way as you're going to ride. You have a bit more of a pragmatic way of you know, the other person as well. But I find
Yeah.
when I find it more difficult is when I'm not riding, and then I'm sort of not in that headspace, and then I don't really like watching a whole lot.
Not nice.
So it's going to be a long week at badminton, put it this way.
Oh God, yes. Oh.
Yeah.
You're coming.
Yes.
That'll be a funny
Okay, so my next question was about the have you ever been in the two winning and second spots? But who at home does the majority of that housekeeping, or is it equally shared? I'm sure it's the last thing you want to be doing after a day of
no, I'd say it is shared. I probably do a bit more, but it's my own doing. I'm a bit I don't stop easily, you know. When I come in at night, I want to be busy, so I cook most nights. But again, I enjoy cooking and I enjoy doing stuff, whereas Tim is much better at sitting down and
recovering
than I am. So,
needs to recover.
I need to recover, whereas Jonelle just takes her intensity to a new environment.
But then
food brought to you on a tray.
But if we're having a day off,
not quite,
and we want to get the house sorted, then we're both pretty good at.
We're both house proud, we enjoy coming home and being domesticated and things, but Janelle definitely does the lion's share of doing all that.
And juggling being parents to your little pair, that must be so full on. Have you got sort of lots of backup?
We have, obviously we don't have any family in England, neither of us. Well, we have Tim's brother is actually in England, but we certainly don't have any grandparents to call on for babysitting or anything. So we've had a very good nanny right from day one, which has enabled us to both continue in the capacity that we want with our careers. I think without that it just wouldn't have been possible. So that works very well. And
your mum comes over in the summer. It takes a lot of people just to keep the whole thing going the right direction. But we love we've enjoyed these first few years where there wasn't such a demand from school and things. Otis is now 5, so he's got school commitments. Abel's 3, so she's just entering into that as well. But they've been a lot of places with us, and they will hopefully continue to do that as much as possible. And when we're not riding, when we're not sat on a horse, just love it to have the kids clinging to us, and off we go doing normal stuff. So we're not sort of putting them in a box out the side. They need, when we can, we do, but it's when we can't, we need someone. So it's that's a bit of organising, but it's a great travelling circus that we are part of, and part of it.
And how long ago did you move down to Dorset? It's quite recently, wasn't it?
About 3 weeks, 1 to 4 weeks.
Settled?
Getting here. It's been a big old move. I mean, we were at Mere Farm for 18 years, so it's a long time. You collect a bit of stuff probably you shouldn't over the years. I think we moved 36 horses, 7 staff, dog, kids, house. So it just was a big job. It didn't help as well. We were sort of away largely for the months leading up to the move. Between we did Christmas in New Zealand, and then we were down in Spain jumping for a month. So it came straight off the back of getting back from Spain, and it just was a big job. But we starting to
like you're coming out the other side.
I feel like we are. We just need this wet month of March to well and truly be behind us, and I think we can start to really enjoy our new surroundings a bit more.
Brilliant. And Tim, so can you just tell me a tiny bit about the 2 horses you've got at Badminton, Vitali
and Coup de Coeur Dudouvan.
I just couldn't say it.
I still don't say it correctly.
So I didn't want to say it.
Jean-Louis Steffer, who owns Coup de Coeur, he will correct me every time as well.
Really?
Really loves him, and he's a great man, and he would stand up and say, I think, because he's Swiss, but he speaks very much the French Swiss. I think the right way to pronounce him is Coup de Coeur Dudouvan, And
Oh, God.
anyway, and Vitali. So Vitali is he's a cracking horse owned by Joe Janamore, who's been an avid and Alex Janamore is his son.
Yeah.
Being avid supporters of having invented himself, and also the New Zealand riders over the years. This horse Vitali is a great horse. He's had some good results, winning the British Open last year, third at Burghley, been to the Olympics, but I bashed out a few poles which kicked us down the order. But he's a classy horse, and I do firmly believe he's going to go and jump a good clear show jump round when it counts one day in the future at 5-star. He's done 2 5-stars now, or 3 including the Olympics, so he's established at this level. I'm looking forward to having a good go with him at Badminton and having his best yet result at that level. Coup de Coeur is a bit of a young gun. He only did 1 4-long. Janelle started him. Well, actually, he was started by Chris Burton, who tried eventing, went show jumping. The horse came across to Janelle, who brought him up to advanced level very successfully with a good result at 4-star level. At that point, I took over the horse, and he did 1 4-long, as I've said, with me, and then he went on to Maryland last year and then managed to win that. So he's fairly inexperienced, but he's an amazing horse, incredible cross country horse. They're both lovely sorts that have a good chance at finishing, hopefully, close to what they start on.
Yeah, very exciting. And one final question, sort of looking at the sport as a whole, what are your sort of main bugbears? What do you think needs changing, apart from, obviously more prize money would be better all round, but how it's sort of evolving? Is it, do you think, evolving?
I guess I would like to see it showcased better. I feel like we do have a fantastic sport, and I don't feel that it is necessarily taken to the public in the best possible way. And I think that's where it's all got to stem for. However, there can be changes within the sport, with the whole safety and all this sort of thing. But at the end of the day, whatever that end package is, we've got to showcase it a bit better to the world. And I think only when we can do that successfully, then we'll get, more TV and media. And that's when, there'll be more money, it'll be more professional. I think we've got to somehow take it forward into a modern era. And I think if we can achieve that, then there's endless opportunities. But, at the moment, perhaps we're sitting a little bit in the archives, and I think that is detrimental in some areas.
What do you think about the fact that, I presume it's happening this year, Badminton TV, you have to pay. So people who want to watch it's now not going to be on BBC, is that right?
So
that's hiding it further from.
Yeah, it makes it difficult, doesn't it? It's an extreme sport, and I think it's a difficult generation we're coming up through now with animal welfare and everything that's associated with that. But the truth of it is that it is dangerous. It's a dangerous sport, but it's high octane sport, and accidents can happen. And I think what this current set of standards is perhaps promoting is welfare of horses getting mixed up with, if a horse has an injury doing what it loves, they consider that a welfare issue. But for me, welfare comes down to a daily basis of how we as humans or animals are cared for on a daily basis. And these animals are loved more than anything, and they don't want for anything at that level. And for me, that's a happy animal and going about what it loves to do. And we should embrace
it. They don't love it.
No, exactly. And they're too big. We can't tell them to. They do it because they want to, and it's a natural thing for them. Yeah. And we should sing that out loud a little bit more, and appreciate the danger involved rather than try to back away from it, because that is a real exciting thing. We all love excitement. The horses love excitement as well. Yeah. And let's embrace that a bit more, and because otherwise it might just get dumbed down, and that would actually be more detrimental to a lot of things, including horse welfare.
Yeah.
That's the other element. I totally agree with what Jonelle said about making the sport more accessible for all, and delivering it, finding a platform to deliver it to the wider public.
Yeah.
And
I mean, badminton's like, isn't it the second largest spectator sport in the world?
Yeah.
The largest, which is unbelievable. So
it's extraordinary, and even then, I still don't think they've explored so many of the possibilities that could be explored there. We
follow the lead of other sports.
We've got to think a bit more like some of the other sports have. Even darts has managed to bring lemon darts to mainstream TV. If they can bring darts,
I mean,
they can bring horses. Snooker has got really quite fashionable. Obviously, the F1, what they've done with that is incredible.
The Drive to Survive. That's the way they follow the threads, the stories.
Oh,
through.
I know, it's amazing.
Some of these guys that work with these horses are incredible. Like, we're just the pilot or the driver in their Formula One car, but it's these guys behind the scenes that they can follow so many incredible stories happening at any given time of the journey through with these horses and their riders and their teams. They could follow that. They could put, you could put the similar model to the Formula One Drive to Survive, follow them through to badminton. It might be a success, it might be a failure, but that's part of life as well, and they can follow that, and it's interesting. There's so many aspects to it which are so fun.
Have you seen the thing that Andy Balding has done with Annalisa, Horsepower, on the sort of basically the inside line on racing, and just what it takes? It's very, very good. I think it's on, I can't remember what it's on, Amazon Prime or something.
Okay.
Very, very good. It ought to be done with you two, perhaps. And the flag rule and the possibility of that changing, is that what's going on?
Look, to be honest, I try not to get too involved with all this. I know, maybe we should have more of an opinion, but our job is to ride. There's people out there, officials, that it's their job to officiate, and
fair enough.
we try and keep our heads down a bit. Of course, we'll give an opinion where it's needed, and we want to support those that need to, but primarily we want to be riders, and that's what where we want our focus to be.
Not worrying about all changes.
Okay,
and final question, what's your perfect weekend or holiday when horses not involved?
Well, I love going to the snow, as you all know, because we've just been to the same area.
Yes.
Not on the same week, unfortunately, otherwise that would have been done.
That would have been
fun. But so I love a snowy holiday, whereas Jonelle prefers a hot holiday. But for keeping everyone happy, I think we had a great time in Mauritius, didn't we?
We did have
we went to
we did a family holiday in Mauritius
for 10 days,
12 months ago, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
But we're actually easily pleased in terms of a holiday anywhere that is away from horses, involves ideally bare feet, unless you're skiing, and just experiencing different culture, or by the beach or the snow. We're not too picky, to be honest. We can enjoy any.
Oh, guys, thank you so much, because I know you have such a full-on time, and you're probably exhausted, and hugely appreciated.
That's no problem. A few pens.
Well, thank you, and very, very good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck at badminton, Tim, and Jonelle, good luck everywhere where you're going this season.
How's your horse going? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stop recording now before we go on to that.